Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Jake here from Into Music, and today we're going to take a look at some snare drums that we've currently got in stock. But first of all, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that showed us some love on the video that we uploaded last week, which was a behind the scenes look at what we do here at Into and following us for a week on our daily tasks. We'll definitely be back to do a few more of that style video, but today, let's jump into some snare demos. So we've got three quite rare snare drums to show you here today. All for one reason or another. They have their own characteristics and their own quirks, but we've got a brass, a steel and a copper from around the world. So we've got one here from Austria, one from Canada and one from Italy. So let's take a closer look. So before we jump into the studio and see how these snare drums sound, we have fitted them all with a 14-inch coated ambassador, just so we can keep the comparison fair and you can really see how these snare drums sound. So first up, handcrafted in Italy, we have this 14x5 Roberto Spizzichino signature snare drum. So if you haven't heard of Roberto before, he is very well known worldwide for some incredible cymbals. If you're lucky enough to have seen or heard, you'll know the craftsmanship is next to none on those cymbals. So I think everyone was really excited when this signature line of snare drums was announced, and there isn't too many around. There's very limited numbers, and I think they've absolutely smashed it, really. It's got like an aged copper shell with the double bead, top and bottom, a vintage style strainer, and these tube style lugs, which are really unique. I've never seen anything like this before, but it really, really works for the shell. It adds to the aged appearance of the copper and the brass lugs. We've currently got it fitted with some pure sound wires, which work really well on the drum. If we take a look on the inside, you'll see that the bearing edges are round over top and bottom, so it adds to that sort of vintage sound, and again, just really works with the copper shell and the build of this snare. The shell itself is so massive and dark sounding, with some really nice mid to lows from the copper, as you'd expect. But it looks the part, it sounds the part, and it's definitely got a bit of history behind it as well. So let's get this in and let's see how it sounds. So next up, we're going to Canada, and we have here an incredible build from the man himself, Mr. Dunnett. Very well known for steel and titanium shell snares mainly. This one is a super thin stainless steel shell. And because it's so thin, there is no bearing edge as such that's being cut, so it's just straight top and bottom, and I think that's what really adds to the classy sound that these drums offer. Really do like that, and it's not something you see too often. So on this one, we do have the die-cast hoops as well, which is great. It adds a bit more of a focused tone, especially with the thinner shell as well. That just works really, really well. Obviously tube lugs as well, which again is classic Dunnett. The R4 strainer, which is just incredible, as well as making insane snare drums. These guys are really well known for the hardware, and so many of our customers ask us to order these in as aftermarket extras for their drums. So something that you might not know on these Dunnett snare drums is you'll never find a typical air vent like you will on any of the others that we've got here today. So these are fitted with something called a hypervent. So the idea is that you can play this as a total closed shell, or we can open this air vent here for a more open tone, which is a really, really nice feature. So the last thing to say about this drum is the finish on the outside of the steel. So this is the G.A.M TRUSSART edition. So it has this engraved artwork as a band all the way around the center of the shell, which again, really, really looks nice with the two-tone, smooth and engraved center. It looks great, it sounds great. This is a real favorite of mine. And check out the cool signature from the builder on the inside. Let's get this one in the studio. So we're finishing off this video in Austria, and this is a brand called Schagerl. I think that's how you say it. Correct me if I'm wrong. So this is an aged brass shell super classy looking drum. Now, one of the key features of this snare drum, if we look down the edge, is this concave design that the shell's actually built in. So it appears seriously undersized top and bottom, almost creating a timpani style for the drum, which is kind of where these guys come from. So Schagerl only started making drums in 2010, and it was born out of the back of some serious R&D process in a factory where they're actually well known for making brass instruments. So it kind of makes sense really that they've put so much thought and innovation into creating a drum which not only looks the part but really does offer something different on the market sonically as well. So we've got yellow brass hardware on this drum, which has got to be the yellowest brass I think I've ever seen on a hardware before. These tube lugs here that follow all the way through, and 2.3mm triple flanged hoops as well. So they fitted this one with the trick strainer and just finished it off with the brass touches as well, which looks really nice. So if we flip this over and take a look at this shell, again, it's a really thin brass shell on this one. It's slightly thicker than we saw on the stainless steel Dunnett. This is the 0.7mm shell. And there is a bearing edge cut in this one, so it's not a straight shell like the Dunnett. So similar thinner style. Every inch of this drum is handcrafted in their factory. Every inch of this drum has gone through an R&D process to make sure it's exactly how they wanted to build drums. So this is the ANTARES series, which was the first line of snare drums that they brought out in 2010. They've done a few more since, but this is where it all started for those guys. Even the snare wires on this are handcrafted, so there's innovation been placed in these to create the snappiest, clearest sounding wires that suit this style of brass shell. So it's time to put this one under the mics. Let's go. So there we have it, 3 quite rare snare drums currently in stock at Enter Music. And if you want to go and check them out or you have any more questions, head over to the website, get in touch with us, we'll be more than happy to help. And also, let us know down below, which was your favourite and which would you go for? Catch you on the next one.